Hi, this is Steve Brandt, coming to you from the Route 66 Spirit of America in Stroud, Oklahoma. This is February 13th, 2025, and in this video I'm going to talk about how the new thinking I referred to in my last video can be used to deal with the crisis we are in. That new thinking, of course, is systems thinking, which is a transformational approach to problem solving when compared with the historically used analytic thinking. In systems thinking, you don't just fix the parts that you see are broken. You fix the design of the larger system because you know it is that design that is causing the parts to break. And please say hello to Inky the cat, who is currently on the desk behind me. I am a student of systems thinking thanks to my mentorship with Professor Russell Ackoff of the Wharton School. He was my friend and mentor for 10 years. And also systems thinking pioneer Dr. W. Edwards Deming, who I corresponded with and studied with in the early 1990s. Also systems thinking pioneer Dr. R. Buckminster Fuller, author of the landmark book Operating Manual for Spaceship Earth. But to the point of designing our way out of this crisis, and that is what systems thinking is best analogous to. It's how designers think when they are building something. I'm a trained civil engineer originally, and what we know is if a building falls down, you don't just build it back the way it was, because it will just fall down again. It falls down because there's something in the larger environment in which the building exists that it is not capable of surviving. So we look at the larger environment to find out how the building design needs to be changed. And that's where we find ourselves now. There is a collapse occurring in the way American society is designed. It is a function of the flaws in how we have operated since the beginning of America. America is called an experiment, and the founding fathers who created the foundation of that experiment were brilliant, but they were also imperfect humans. They made mistakes. One mistake they made was to allow the creation, or I should say not forbid the creation of separate political parties. If you look in the Constitution, there is nothing in there about political parties. In fact, if you read the farewell address of George Washington, you see that he said it would be a huge mistake to create separate political parties because they would divide the nation. And we were created to be the United States, not the separate at war with each other states. Sure, we have separate states because we are not all the same. We come from different geographic areas. We have different backgrounds. America, of course, is a nation of immigrants, except for those people who were here first, and that's a story for another time, or a discussion for another time. But what the founding fathers didn't do was forbid the creation of political parties. And so the crisis we are in today is in part a function of political parties ultimately being a major flaw in how we function. We are allowed to be divided by the existence of political parties. Another flaw is the equivalence of money and free speech. we the people. We are not we the banks. We are not we the corporations. This is a country ideally meant to be a product of what we the people know is possible. And so that's where the process I am going to be outlining comes in, because there is a bottom-up revolution, or I should say bottom-up evolution, available. This evolution is not going to come from the top, because the people at the top of our society are too wedded to the system as it is. They are either wedded to being victorious in that system, or they are wedded to being at war with those who are victorious, and that, again, keeps us divided. So I will be describing a process of nation building based on communities. In fact, there's a program that exists that shows community leaders how their communities can develop as united bodies of citizens. It's called the Communities of Excellence program, and I will provide a link to that program in the video description and in the accompanying essay that will go with this video. I want you all to have hope, but I want you to know that having hope requires that we think differently about the crisis we are in. That is essential because, as Einstein famously said, the problems we face cannot be solved with the same thinking we used to create them. Thanks very much for listening. I look forward to your comments, and again, have hope. We can design our way out of this crisis. Thanks again.